Hello, everybody. Let me just get my iPad comments up here. I have quite a few things here on my desk. Let's get comments. Okay, let me see. Okay, it's totally, I wanted to make sure my iPad was charged. Okay. All right. I'll give it a second. Look at these beautiful colors. Okay. Aren't these pretty? So I picked out several colors. I have some tags here, and then we're going to do a few things. Hi, Linda. Hi, Heather. Okay, so because I want to share with you guys a few things from yesterday, but I thought we could do some crafting while I chatted. So you're going to see actually quite a few lives from me over the next 30 days, and I will explain why in 1 minute. Okay, so I have these pouches here, and these are for my paper party retreat. So if you signed up for the paper party, then you will be getting one of these in your package. So they're really cute. They're just these fabric. I was trying to pick out some of my favorite colors here. I don't really like that green, and I don't really think the white is fun, and that should be enough. And this is what it's going to look like. So in your paper party retreat bag, oh, I wonder if I have to do that on my phone. Hold on 1 second. Oh, I can't remove that. Okay. You will have your envelopes in here. You will have your embellishment in here. You will have some dimensionals. It won't be a full pack, but you'll have some dimensionals in there. Then there will be a tag, and then any of the other items that go with your paper party. And then it has this little star on it. So that's what we're going to do. I have these tag dies that I just recently got. And then I picked these colors out. Oh, I need to grab the paper. Let me grab the designer paper that I'm using. It'll be easy to grab. It is the Perfectly Penciled, and I wanted to give you guys some tips on coloring your designer paper. That's why I'm using blends to do that. And I thought I would craft and chat with you guys because yesterday we had quite the good time when I was on here. I loved creating those projects with you guys, and it was really fun. So let's get started by grabbing the paper out. I'm going to get all set up, and then I'm going to tell you what is happening. I'm just going to use my mini because it's the easiest when I'm here live. And what I want to do is use some of these designs that we'll be able to color. And I think I need to create, I need to create quite a bit, but we probably won't get through all of them, but I will do some of them. So what I want to do is, here's the tailor-made dies. And I didn't resist getting these, but it just took me a long time to get these. And then the other exciting thing that happened is I was pulling all of my paper party stuff out yesterday, and I found my deckled dies. These are new dies. I'm trying to find them. That's not it. Where did they go? Oh, they're right here. So I knew I had ordered these. These are the new deckled dies. And they're really cool. They're really cute. They make this like not raggedy, that's not the right word, like torn edge. And I knew I had ordered them, but I couldn't find them. And you know, they got stuck in between 2 stacks of cardstock. So I was pulling all my paper party stuff out to do yesterday, and I found them. And I was ecstatic because I thought I was going to have to... reorder these. In fact, I put them on an order. I haven't finalized it yet. So I was glad I'm not going to have to do that. So I want to use this die, I think here, this large one. Yep. And so I think I'm going to cut these in half. And I think that will be able to go through the mini machine here easier. Okay, so we'll cut these and then we will start die cutting. So I want to die cut several of these and then we'll do the coloring. So when I'm die cutting, it'll be easy to chat with you guys. So I'm just going to use this, and then, yeah, so see, that'll fit perfect. So let's grab this die. And I don't think I can get really more than one. I probably should have cut this paper maybe differently to like, but I really want to be able to move this die around and get some of the floral, like get as much of the floral pieces in there that I can. So that's probably good. So yesterday we were doing the live, and then my mom sent me on here some stars, and I was like, what in the world is that? And then several other people sent stars. So if you were on here yesterday and you sent stars through the chat down here, I'm going to send you one of the cards that we made. I'm going to make up the rest of these paper pumpkin cards, and I will send you a handmade card. So do not feel like you have to send the stars here on Facebook. I know there is a message that now is popping up that says, you know, help me reach this goal and send me these stars. So this is what happened. I got off the live here yesterday, and then I was like, what is this? Like, what are these stars? And I know Renee sent me a message, and she even looked into it for me. So thank you, Renee, for like helping me look into it. But what happened is I went onto my account and looked, and I was eligible for a different kind of Facebook account. It's called a creator's account. And I actually had to call a friend because I was like not understanding. I was trying to do all of this stuff and I was not understanding like why it wasn't working. And it wanted me to enter some information and like verify some things and enter my tax ID stuff for my business. And so I started doing all of that. And what Facebook basically told me is it wants me to do a few things to get to the requirements, to hit the requirements to be able to have this sort of account with Facebook. And one of those requirements is just to do, to have live, like I'm doing now, to be live for between 20 and 30 hours, to log those, basically, log those hours. And then my account can be this special kind of account, and I can actually earn money from Facebook. So that's pretty incredible because as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, as somebody who does this full time online, I have several different avenues of income. I certainly cannot only rely on Stampin' Up! For my income. It's certainly an avenue of income that I get, and I get you know, commission from orders, and I get commission from those that join Stampin' Up! With me, you know, that are in my specific community of people. So that's definitely an avenue of income. But also when I upload YouTube videos, I have something called AdSense. So the ads that you see play on my YouTube videos, I get paid for those. And I have some control over that. So you'll notice on my YouTube videos that I don't have ads that play in the middle of my videos because I hate that. I hate watching a YouTube video and in the middle of the video, all of a sudden there's an ad. And it's always at the worst time, right? You're watching it. It's almost jarring when you see, when some of these videos, these ads pop up when you're watching a video. So I don't have ads that play in the middle of my video because I don't like it. And so I don't want my audience to have to deal with that, right? But that's another avenue of income that I get. And so with this, I've just learned that there's lots of different avenues of income. So if Facebook is willing to pay me, we're just going to go ahead and accept that situation, right? So in order for that to happen, I need to have between 20 and 30 active hours of lives. So over the next few weeks, I'm going to be doing most of the videos that you see from me will be live here on Facebook so that I can just log those hours and get my account active with Facebook how they want me to. And that'll be perfect. It doesn't affect you guys in any way other than if you're on Facebook, you'll get to, you can see my lives. If you're on YouTube, you will still see my videos. It just, they won't be live when you're seeing them. And then there is the stars. So I guess the stars are a part of this ability with Facebook to have this particular account. And so that's why you will see a message that says, help me reach this many stars. You do not have to do that. I don't want anybody to ever feel obligated to do that. And that is a smaller piece of, that's just a way of letting Facebook know that I have people that watch and that there are people that support me and that are watching on this platform. So I never want anybody to feel obligated. I can't remove that message now that I've accepted Facebook's invitation to become this type of account. It will be removed, that. It won't always be there, but it is there for right now and I can't remove that. And I totally would, because I do not want anybody to feel obligated to do anything. And so I would rather the message not be in your guys' face. So I apologize if it is, or if it keeps popping up and saying to do that. Just remember, you don't have to do that. But really what this comes down to is me just wanting to be able to continue to do this as my full-time job. And so accepting some different avenues of income is helpful on my end, to not feel so stressed about when orders are coming in or when people are joining Stampin' Up! Or any of those things. It alleviates a little bit of that stress, and I don't like to have stress on those avenues. I don't want to feel stressed if people are ordering from me or if people are joining with me. I would rather not. I would rather people just be able to order when they want to order and join when they want to join and not feel the stress. So a way that I do that is by having these other avenues of income. So all that to say, I just want to be transparent with you guys about what happened yesterday with the stars. I had no idea I was eligible for this kind of account. It was very jarring in a way that I didn't know what was happening. So for this one, I think I'm going to do this color. So I want to pair these like I did with this one. So this one has green. So the light blue, I'll need to do another green one. And I want to pair it with that in color Glimmer paper and the in color stamps. So I want a stamp paper hug from me. That's exactly what it is. A paper party retreat is a big paper hug from me. So I want to pair that together like that. So I'm going to try to do these colors. I wonder if I should do something darker. Maybe, no, I don't think that goes. I think this one is the one that goes the best. So all that is me being transparent with you guys, because I always like to be transparent. And it was kind of weird yesterday when I didn't really know what it was or what the stars were doing. And so I like to be transparent, but I also, it's an exciting moment when any platform reaches out to you and wants your account to be different with them, or wants to work with you, or wants to pay you, all of those things. So it is exciting, and it is a little bit of boost of inspiration for me, as things can get hard when you work for yourself and you are responsible for all of the things that you're responsible for. So I'm excited about it. And if I can hit the, it's between 20 and 30 hours of lives that I need to do to hit, it's like logging the hours with Facebook. So if I can do that, that will be wonderful, and it will be a much needed avenue of revenue in my business that I will be very thankful for. So the great thing is that I just get to be live with you guys and craft, and that is why you will see me a little bit more here on Facebook doing lives. I think the way that I can manage to make that happen is all the content that I would normally do a video for is just doing that live and logging those hours. There is a little bit of a deadline on the when they want those hours logged, because I did not know about this. Like, I literally, when I was trying to research what the stars were about and I went into this, I saw that the offer was there for me to click on to accept or not to accept, but I didn't even know it was there. So I have to say thanks to my mom for initiating that and sending that first set of stars, so that it made me go in there and look and see what it was all about. And it was kind of frustrating because, like I said, I was clicking around on things and I couldn't understand what to do. And then there was this part, it wanted me to link my bank account, and then I got nervous if it was a scam. So then I researched that, and it was like this whole rabbit hole I went down, and ended up working until after 7 last night. I was still in here working. So yeah, let me just catch up on comments. Hi, Cheryl and Diana. Hey, Linda. Nobody feel like they have to send the stars. Just so you guys know, it's not a ploy to get more stars. But if you want to, then I appreciate the support. Julie said, I support you and will watch as much as I can. I love your lives. Thank you so much, Julie. And then it says, that's funny. Yesterday we were sending stars and no one knew why, including you. Yeah, it was weird to not know exactly what they were for or what they did. Again, I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook. That's another thing, is that I have business, I have the business account and I have my business groups. All of my membership stuff happens on Facebook, but I don't spend a lot of time surfing Facebook because it's just gotten so toxic in the last couple years that I just would rather not see all the political stuff and everybody's opinion about everything. And so I just choose not to be on it all that much. And I come on it to do my business stuff, and then that's it. This is gorgeous. These two colors together. This is the Tahiti Tide. It's the dark. And so because I'm not on Facebook a lot, like I said, I didn't even know that this was something that Facebook was offering me. So I hadn't clicked on anything. And so when I went in, I had to do a whole lot of things. I had to verify a lot of things and answer some questions and do some things. And like I said, I will be happy to have that kind of account that Facebook is offering. I just am glad to know what it is. And it took up a little bit of time to figure out. This is a gorgeous color combo. So what do we think? I think it matches almost perfectly. So that's really pretty. So this is just pattern paper that I'm coloring on. So you can use your blends or your writer markers or your colored pencils to add color to your pattern paper. So there's that color combo. And I'll post a photo. I'll do a blog post and I will post a photo of the color combos for you to see them. I think that those are fun. So let's do this one and we'll do these little ones. So if anybody has any questions about it, I will answer them the best that I can, but that is why you will see me live a little bit more here in the next few weeks as I just try to get that account. I guess it's just kind of like verifying the account through Facebook. It's a way that they just know you're a serious creator. They want creators on their platform, you know, instead of YouTube. And so it's a way for, I think this is okay. I was thinking about doing maybe a different color, but I think this is okay. This is dark flirty flamingo. And so I totally understand why they're doing it. And I will take it. It's nice. So the lives that I will do over the next, I think about 3 weeks, I think, is when I need to be able to meet this goal. I don't know. I'm just going to pop on here when I can. So like today, Esau worked, he had to go in at 3. He's working a 12-hour shift today, so he doesn't get off until 3 a.m. And so he went in at 3. And so because of that, I wanted to be able to hang out with him, spend a little time with him before he went to work. And so, and my kids are home right now. I might get interrupted. They're home from school. So I just thought I would try to do it. I thought, you know, if you have a chance to do something or to, you know, yeah.
I'm going to Lucas's.
Okay, thank you for letting me know. You know, you should always try to do it. You should always try to take that chance and do things, right? So we'll just try it. And I think I will also always upload these to YouTube. So you'll see them on YouTube. And I'll try to timestamp them for you to not have to listen to all of my chit chat if you don't want to. So here's this one. I don't know how I feel about this flirty flamingo color. Hey, Kathy. Yeah, I think Julie's saying like to Facebook, like just how toxic it has become. That's why I do really appreciate going into my groups. I wonder if this color will go with it. This is the new Parakeet Party. I bet Granny Apple Green would have gone better with this. Do we have a Granny Apple Green? I think we do. Let me grab it. Because I think Granny Apple Green will go better with this color. Hey, Daisy. Oh, my Granny Apple Green tip is fried. Yeah, it goes a little bit better, but my other tip is fried. And I don't want each of these tags to take a long time. So I don't know. And you can see on here, I'm not necessarily trying to be perfect. I mean, I don't want to be sloppy. I don't want it really a ton out of the lines. But I also, I'm not being terribly careful. I mean, it's a look, right? So let's get these and then we'll go back. Flirty Flamingo is one of those colors I feel like shows up a little bit different than you think it's gonna. But look how fun it is to add that. So that's Flirty Flamingo and Granny Apple Green. Hi, what's up?
Can I have a popsicle?
Yes, honey, you can have a popsicle. Thank you for asking. I think I need maybe a different pink for this one right here. I mean, it's okay, but so there's that color combo. Okay, so for the black, I mean, you could do any color combo, right? But I think this one would be pretty with it. Like, see how it has the more of the leaves? So let's, for the black, this Starry Night would go, or I think I used this one. Oh, Bermuda Bay. Let's do Bermuda Bay. This is the light Bermuda Bay. Oh yeah, Bermuda Bay and black. Yes, please. Is there a better color combo than that? I think not. You could also add a little wink of Stella over these, and it would be pretty. Like the Glimmer would be pretty on these. This is a really easy pattern because it's just these florals. I feel like it's dark though. This, even though this is the light Bermuda Bay, that's the thing with the alcohol markers, is they're going to be a little bit darker than probably your regular. Like if I was using a writer marker, this would probably be a little bit lighter. See that? But the blend marker is going to give you a really smooth, and you could even do some blending on this. This paper would be great for blending, getting a little bit darker and a little bit lighter colors. So I think this is pretty. Okay. So this is just going to be Bermuda Bay and black. There is no secondary color because there's no real leaves to that. But that will look pretty on that one, right? Okay. And so we used this design and this one. So I think we're back to our design. So next, let's do this one. So this is the purple pouch. Thanks, Vicky. So let's do, this is Orchard Oasis. So I also grabbed Highland Heather. So I feel like the Highland Heather is more the color of the pouch, but I think that the Orchard Oasis might go well. Let's just look. Let's check it out. Oh, it definitely is a blue. Let's try just some blending. So if I use, like with different colors, now you can use the, you know, the blend markers have a light and a dark, but what if we use different colors? Oh my gosh, Daisy, I'm on your TV in your living room. Okay, now that makes me feel pretty special. So these two colors are not going to blend well together. Right, they're too different. This one is more blue. We're just going to cover that up because I didn't like the way it looked. So let's do this. And this is definitely more of a blue. I think this is that blue I used before. The Highland Heather comes out a little bit... It comes out a little bit pink when you do it on paper. I feel like it doesn't come out. This is Highland Heather, right? Yeah, see, this is Highland Heather. If you have the purple posy, that color, sometimes it comes out more like that. See, now this, I feel like it doesn't match. So it will match this blue. So we'll still do that blue. But let's find a different one to do this purple. So I don't think Highland Heather is really going to work. What about, what's this one? This one is Blackberry Bliss. This is not Blackberry Bliss. Like, Blackberry Bliss is so dark. How is this? Look at this. That looks nothing like Blackberry Bliss. No, I didn't label it wrong, but that looks nothing like Blackberry Bliss, which happens sometimes with the blends with the alcohol markers. So this is light Blackberry Bliss. Let's try it. Ooh, it's darker. This tip is messed up. That's light. Oh my gosh, that's nothing like the tip. And I don't like it. It's too dark. What's this other purple? Let's see what purples I have. I have dark purple posy. Is that still a color we have? No, it is not. And then I have light Highland Heather. So the purple posy is retired. I do apologize. I don't think I'm going to use that. I really don't like it. Well, let's test it then. So if I'm not going to use it, then let's test it. So that's purple posy. And this is light Highland Heather. Okay, so let's use both of these. So here's a perfect example. Oh my gosh, Kathy, you're right. I did not like coloring or blending, but I am getting better at it. Thanks so much. That's funny that you remember that. Yeah, I never would have thought that I would have enjoyed it. So here's, I know purple posy is retired, but you might have this because I still have this blend. So you might still have your purple posy marker. I still have my purple posy ink pad that I was lucky enough to get. And then this is light Highland Heather. So this is a dark purple posy and a light Highland Heather. So let's see how they blend together. So I'm going to use this as my test. Which one is darker? So that's dark purple posy. And then this is light Highland Heather. So the purple posy is lighter. So let's take the darker color, which is the light. I know that's kind of weird, right? Which is the light Highland Heather. And anywhere you see that it's dark, this is a great way to practice, you guys, on this, particularly on this designer paper, because it almost has like where the shading should be. It's kind of giving you a cheat sheet. Wherever it's dark is where you're going to put your darker color. Or just put it wherever you want. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, whatever you want to do, right? Because it's your project. Nobody's asking you to make it look perfect or make it look real. It really, I think the thing that has made me enjoy coloring more is to realize it doesn't have to look real. It doesn't have to look perfect. If I like the way it looks, that's all that matters. If I enjoy coloring it, that's all that matters. And if somebody looks at your project and is like, well, I mean, I have had somebody say to me, a flower wouldn't look that way, or whatever it was I was coloring, it wouldn't look that way in real life. And I'm like, why would I care about real life? I'm crafting. I'm not trying to make something real. Like, I'm not trying to, sell a realistic piece of art for $1 million. Like, I'm here to craft and I'm here to have fun. So once I realized that, I think it has become much easier for me to embrace coloring. So now I'm going to take the dark purple posy, which is lighter than the light Highland Heather, and I'm going to go right into that other purple and I'm going to pull it out. And again, because I'm just making these tags and some of this is going to be covered up because I'm going to stamp something else and put a sentiment on there, and it doesn't have to be perfect. But look, that's actually really beautiful. Look how beautiful that is. You do want to be careful when you're saturating your pattern paper. It's thinner than, your your basic white paper, which is what you would normally be coloring on. So you want to be careful. The more you saturate it with the color and the ink, the more likely it is to bleed outside of the lines. And you want to have a really light touch. So I'm barely touching this to the paper. Like once your marker comes in contact with the paper is going to suck that ink right out of the marker. So just like a syringe, if you think about like a syringe, when you fill a syringe full of, you know, whatever, like medicine or whatever, and you see how the syringe sucks the liquid, you know, right out of the bottle. Listen, I'm not an expert on needles by any means. My cousin is a diabetic though, so I guess that's probably, you know, that seeing that comes from. But if you see that, picture that the way it is with your paper. Like the minute the marker touches the paper, it doesn't even have to touch it very much. It's going to immediately begin sucking that liquid into the paper and soaking it up. These two colors are actually really gorgeous together. Look at this middle flower. Look how gorgeous that is. Those two colors with the light and the dark. And like I said, the paper like totally guides you when you're adding the color. Just wherever that is dark, add your dark. And you can go back if you layer more color on to these, then they will get darker, right? But again, you want to be careful on how you do that. So let's take, I just want to play around and see. Is this my new Wink of Stella? Yeah. How Wink of Stella would look over these flowers. And you know, when you add Wink of Stella to our ink, like if you stamp something or you color it with the ink pad, the Wink of Stella will reactivate the ink and move it around. It doesn't really do that with blends because the ink is already inside the paper fibers. So let's see. I don't know if you can really, maybe like right there. Can you see that glimmer? It's kind of hard to see on camera. I bet with a photo, I will be able to get it better. But look how pretty that is with this one. So pretty, right? So let's just try it, just for fun. Let's grab the Highland Heather ink pad and let's color some flowers. We'll do it on this test one with the ink pad. So you can do this with your ink pads if you don't have blend markers or alcohol markers. You can do this with your ink pad. So you're just gonna press it. And what I do is I almost like push it in half, like I'm trying to break it in half. You won't break this. I mean, maybe The Rock could break this. Like maybe he could, like, I don't know. He's pretty strong, I guess. But like probably you and I are not going to break the ink pad. So just pinch it together and like you're pushing with your thumbs in the middle and then your hands here are pulling it down. That's what I do. And I just do that kind of all over. And when you do that and then you, oh, it didn't even do it. Look at that. After I'm saying all that, you really got to push it. Push that ink pad in. It still didn't do it. Dang, this one's hard. Oh, it still didn't do it. Okay, if it doesn't do it, I mean, there's other ones that you guys have seen me do this before. Like, I mean, my Balmy Blue, see how it did that? I just cannot get that Highland Heather one to do it. I might be scared I might break a nail. So instead what I'm going to do, let's see, Highland Heather is Settles. So we'll get my Settle re-inkers out. And I wonder if maybe it's dry. It could be that my ink pad is dry. Drier than it should be. So let's re-ink this. And I don't do anything fancy when I re-ink my ink pads, I just squeeze it right into the ink pad. So let's see if that maybe was the problem. Nope, it just, I can't do it. So what I'm gonna do is just put a little ink down there. And I'll put these away. And then what we will do is just move that around. The other thing you can do, I'm afraid that's very, very concentrated. So we'll take a wipe. These are the wipes I get. These from Target. And smush it out a little bit, just so it's not so concentrated. Don't close it all the way, Roberta says. Like, don't click. How do you, like, don't click it right there? Is that what you mean? I think this one is just like, I don't know. I normally can do it. Okay, so let's try this. So I like to use my Wink of Stella to do this coloring because I feel like my Wink of Stella gives me more control. Like the liquid that's coming out of the barrel, it doesn't come out so fast. So I do have the water brushes, but I feel like the water that comes out when you're pressing this, like it's a lot. And you got to get it moving. And even now, I feel like it's all going to come pouring out. But I feel like I don't have as much control over the water brushes as I do with my Wink of Stella. So I always have several Wink of Stellas. And like some of them, like this one, is almost all dried out. And the other thing is that you can take your Wink of Stella and you can fill it. Again, if you put a mixture of, I always do alcohol and water, like a 50-50 mix. There's still shimmer in here and you can make your Wink of Stellas last longer. So you just again, like a syringe, you just stick it in there, pinch it together, and then it'll suck it into the barrel and then shake it around, and then you can make your Wink of Stella last longer. Okay, so I have this, and let me see. Is this my... This one might be empty too. And then, look, all these are empty. I usually write on it, like, this one's new. I just might have used all of it. All of them. Is this one? I think, look, I colored that one to, like, indicate it was new. Oh, yeah, that one has more in it. So the other thing that is nice is you get a little bit of shimmer when you do it this way with your Wink of Stella. So if you just pull in the colors, see how you do that? So let's see the difference. Now, with this method, your paper will get really... It could warp because you're adding a lot of moisture. But look at the difference. I think somebody's here. Hold on one second in case somebody is. Oh, it's Jen. Shoot. Hey, lady, I'm live. Yeah, oh, I'm so sorry. I wish I wasn't live because I would love to hang out. Here, let me give you your kit. Sorry, guys. Hold on one second. This is your,
Squeeze of the day thing.
Oh, thank you.
Right. And then the cotton thing you put in the wax early enough or whatever. And you clean it out.
This is your set for your ordering special. Like this is your watercolor pencil. Okay. Just got it tomorrow for the video stuff. And this is your fluff stuff. Okay, cool. Okay, it's your, yes, I did powder stuff. And then the video will come out tomorrow. Okay, okay. And then I'll text you because I want to get together. Like I want to go see the house. Yeah.
Maybe Saturday?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'll text you. I'm so sorry I'm live. Jen brought me a little gift. Sorry, guys. She brought me a little gift. It's for her. She does candle stuff, and I get the wax from her. So, and she just moved to a new house that is kind of far away, so I don't get to see her as much. So I think I'm going to grab, I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. I think I'm going to grab another, I always have a Wink of Stella on hand. Let me see. Life happens, Dawn says. Yeah, it does. She's not used to me being live at this time because I usually do all my stuff in the morning, you know, but with Esau's work schedule. Okay, so let's open a new, we're going to get through this. I don't know, you guys might be getting bored with my coloring. We're going to get through a few more, and then I'm going to put some of these tags together with these pouches after I do a couple different color combos. So with your Wink of Stella, you just you twist this, you remove the little black ring, and then you press that, and then you're going to press the barrel, and you'll see all of that liquid start to come out there. And then once it starts to get into this part, you want to stop squeezing. Sometimes I've squeezed too much, like I'm impatient and I keep squeezing it, and then a whole bunch drips out. Come on. There we go. See how that is? Let me try to squeeze this again. Oh, now she's watching. Jen, don't watch while you're driving. Don't do it. Angie or Georgie might be. I think that, I'm not sure which one was with her. I think it was Angie that was with her. I don't know why this one's not. Oh, there, it did it. Look at that. Okay, so you squeeze the barrel. The reason you squeeze it, Kay, is because there is liquid in this barrel and there is glimmer. So I'm going to try to see if I can squeeze like a whole, see how that drips out? See all that liquid? That's in the barrel. So a lot of times I will squeeze this into my ink pad and then I'll just mix it around. And then I have shimmery, like whatever color it is, it's shimmery. So then you just wipe off the, I know it might stain a little bit depending on, you know, like it's stained a little bit, but, and that's why I said if your Wink of Stella runs out, all you do is take a mixture of alcohol and water. I usually do 50-50, and then just squeeze this into the liquid and suck it into the barrel. And there's a little like metal ball in there, and you shake it around, and then it'll extend your Wink of Stella a little bit. That's just a tip. Oh, hopefully that explained it. Oh, and then Jen sent me stars. Jen, you're driving. You're making me nervous. Hopefully that explained it, Kay. If you want to extend that, the life of yours, because see, there's still like shimmer in there. So I've done that before, or I've used it as like a water brush, like we're doing. So this is it with just the ink. And again, like I said, it's going to be a little bit lighter. It's going to warp your paper a little bit because that's so much moisture. But then you can see the difference between doing that. See how much lighter that is compared to your blend marker? Right? Like the difference. So we have that purple one. So let's do another color combo. So let's see. These are the ones I've done. We'll do one more. And then I'll put some of these tags together. So we have the purple, the Bermuda Bay. This is Flirty Flamingo and Granny Apple Green. This is the new in color. I don't have the colors memorized yet. And then the other new in color. And then this is just the in color. So each tag will have this, a paper hug from me, and it'll have some ribbon. So those are the colors we've done. So let's do, I have this color. I have a light pink. Okay, so those are the two colors I have left. So maybe I'll just do both of these. So let's do this one and this one. And so this is a yellow, so I don't know what color to go. I could do a blue. Maybe this dark blue would look pretty with this yellow. I do too, Kay. It's one of my favorite things that I use. I mean, I have so many of these on hand. Like, I just pulled out a new one and I have 2 other ones because I go through them so quickly. So the other thing that you can do is, do I know where I put that? I don't, oh, it's right here. Okay, you can get this. It's called Perfect Pearls. It's by Ranger, and you can get, it's the Perfect Pearl, I think it's just the normal color. I think it's just the plain color, the Perfect Pearl color. And this is powder. It's shimmery powder. See, I've already gotten it all over my hands just from touching this. And you can mix that in the alcohol and water mixture, and you can put that in your Wink of Stella too. I know these are so expensive. These are like $8. This, I mean, I think it was like $6.99. I've had it for a million years. I've had it for like 15 years, and I still have so much of it. I've used it a ton to do that. So that's another option. If I can find a link to this, I will link it when I'm done. But that's another option because I know Wink of Stella is my favorite thing to use, but I go through it a lot too. Okay, so maybe the blue with this, you guys can tell me. Maybe the blue with this. And then the pink, why don't we try a darker pink? So why don't we try, this is Magenta Madness. And let me see, is that a color? No, it is not. It is a retired color. So you guys, my blend markers, the reason I have some retired colors in here is because if it's, I don't care if it's retired. If it's a marker and it's not dry, I'm not going to get rid of it just because it retired. Like it's too expensive to just get rid of things because they retired. So like my purple posy is not dry yet. Obviously when it dries up, I just won't have that color anymore. When Magenta Madness dries up, I won't have that color anymore. But I'm not going to stop using it just because it retired. Yes.
Can me and Lucas set up the pool?
No, you cannot set up the pool, but you can jump on the trampoline with the sprinkler. Okay. Or there's this color. So I'm not sure. The darker or the lighter, you guys. This is Orchard Oasis or Starry Sky for the green, neon yellow, neon green one. You guys let me know and I'll start on this one. So for this one, we'll use dark Magenta Madness, right? So again, this is really dark actually. Well, I mean, I feel bad using things that are retired if you guys want to get them. I know that that can be frustrating, but also a lot of times you guys have the retired items yourself. And so this is really dark. It seems pointless to get rid of something that is still functioning just because it retired. I don't know. It seems ridiculous to me. But I mean, that could be why I'm not in the top 10% of the company anymore. Like it could be that I'm not in the top 100 or the top 10 because I have that. Maybe I have a bad attitude. Guys, maybe they don't like my attitude. That's okay. That's okay. My mom would tell you growing up she didn't like my attitude either. So my husband tagged me, or he sent me a meme that said, it was like, tired of your daughter's attitude. And then you remember like your daughter has the same attitude that you have. And he was like, this is Violet. And I was like, yeah, unfortunately, Violet acts just like me. I mean, and she's autistic. So there's a whole other set of issues that come with that. But, you know, I don't know how many people like my attitude. I can't afford it either, Kay. I mean, right? Like there's no point in getting rid of something just because it retired. I'm sorry. That will be my opinion like, that's the hill I'll die on, is that I'm not just getting rid of stuff because it retires. There are things that I do get rid of. Like, I have a lot of stamp sets that I get rid of because I just, I end up with stamp sets that I end up not using. I run out of time or whatnot. Or there's stamp sets that I have to get because I'm a part of design teams and design projects, and it's a requirement that I have certain things. But I really am trying to be more mindful of what I'm getting, and I'm trying to, like, Jen, who's watching, she just recently joined Stampin' Up again with me, and she has stuff, and, like, I can borrow stuff from her, or Wendy lives up the street. Like, I'm trying to get better about, if it's not something that I really love, not buying it, so that I can keep more of my stuff and not have to get rid of so much of it. And then I'm not spending money that I don't necessarily have on things I don't really want, right? Oh, thanks, Julie. I appreciate that. So I'm gonna pair this, I think. Let's do a test maybe. Where's my test one? So this is Magenta Madness. And then let's test it with Granny Apple Green. Or there's Parakeet Party, which I love. Oh, I think I'm gonna go with the Parakeet Party. I think so. Linda said, your attitude is just fine. I don't know. My husband might not agree with you. No, I get it. I understand what you're saying. It's funny. I march to the beat of my own drum, I guess. And it's fine. There's a million things that I like about Stampin' Up, but the one thing that I don't like is that things retire, and they retire so quickly. And I feel whiplash sometimes. I mean, going from the annual catalog just launched literally this month. Like, this is the month that the brand new catalog came out. And I literally am pre-ordering for the holiday catalog next month and planning projects for the end of the year. And there's moments that it's very overwhelming. Honestly, there's moments that it's very overwhelming and I get whiplash and I can't keep up. And it's the one thing that I've never liked about Stampin' Up. I remember when I first started and I wasn't even a demonstrator. I was just buying product, and I felt it, I felt like, it's too fast and there's too much. And I just want to enjoy crafting. Like, I want to create and share and not worry about if it's retired or if it's, but I get it. It's just part of life, right? Like, it's part of the things that we do. I love that. This is going to be so pretty with this one. Oh, what do you guys think of that? So I noticed I missed a couple pieces. Don't do this over the fabric or it will, because it does go through. So it's going through the paper and it's getting on my mat. This mat is a creative mat, right? Like, it's meant to get inky. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, I love this. Yeah, Daisy, I totally get that. She said, I never toss retired product. If I spent money on it, it stays a long time until it dies or I'm sick of it, right? That is pretty. Parakeet Party is, I'm loving it. Okay, so should we do a test? Should we bring our test piece over again? So this is Starry Night, which is very, very dark. And then Orchard Oasis we have totally used. Or maybe I should use, maybe this would be pretty. This is, I keep feeling like I'm not saying this right. Tahiti Tide. I might not be saying that right. And then for the leaves, there's not many leaves. The leaves are smaller on there. So, I think I'm going to have to go with Parakeet Party again. But I think either one of these. So what should we do? The dark blue or the light blue? I'll catch up on comments while you guys are voting. Oh, a couple of you, I think, set up here darker. I think Kay was saying darker for this. Daisy said so pretty. Yeah. I think either one, but I haven't done the darker. Light blue. Linda said light blue. Oh, Jen said dark blue. Kathy said light blue. Okay, so there's 2 for light and I think 2 for dark. Am I gonna have to be the tiebreaker? Okay, Kay said that's light. That's the light one. Okay, so lots for the light. Okay, so we'll go with the light. Okay. All right, so let's do this in light. Oh, this is gorgeous. When I first saw these colors online, Stampin' Up! Does this thing every year where they do this, like, it's kind of like almost like a scavenger hunt. They give you like these clues every day for like 5 days. It kind of drives me bananas because I just want to know. I'm just like, just tell me. But when I first saw them, when they were doing that, I didn't like these. I did not like the colors. And I was like, why do we have to have so many blues? Like, why? Like, almost all 5 of the colors are blue. And I was sad to see Bumblebee leave because it was such a beautiful yellow. And I feel like that's the only color we lack in our collection is a good yellow. And so I was kind of sad. But then I got them in my hands and I have been blown away. The colors are just, they are just gorgeous. And I really love them. This one reminds me of, do you guys remember Tempting Turquoise? So Tempting Turquoise was a color that Stampin' Up! Had in its main color family when I first started, before they did the color refresh. Currently, I'm terrified of Stampin' Up! Doing a color refresh because I feel like I can't take it. All the work that goes into the color refresh and like having to get the new colors and like, so I feel terrified that they're going to do a color refresh soon because we're due for one. They do one like every 5 to 8 years. But this blue here reminds me of Tempting Turquoise. And then if you've been with Stampin' Up! Long and you remember different colors, even if you're on YouTube, you can comment in the comment section below. What is your favorite Stampin' Up! Color of all time? Of all the colors ever. And I will say, I mean, it will not be hard to know what mine is. Mine is Bermuda Bay. And when I first started with Stampin' Up, they did not have Bermuda Bay. Bermuda Bay came back in its first color refresh. And I was ecstatic that it did. It is also the color of my accent wall here in my office. And I actually have the color, it's a little bit darker than Bermuda Bay, is the accent in my living room. That teal color is my accent color in my living room. But I just love Bermuda Bay. It's so pretty and it goes great with so many colors. It's also one of the main colors in my website. So I think I got all of those. Okay, so then we'll do Parakeet Party. And this is the light Parakeet Party. Maybe we should grab the dark Parakeet Party and mix it up. Mix it up a bit. Okay, this is dark Parakeet Party. Bumblebee. Jen said Bumblebee. I love that color too, Jen. I love that color. It's like the perfect yellow. It like does not get better than the Bumblebee. I also like the yellow I liked, which this was like more of a yellow orange, was More Mustard. Anybody remember that color? More Mustard. That I was sad to see go, but it wasn't definitely a darker yellow. It was more like of a brown yellow, but I loved that color. It was perfect in the fall. So this is the dark. Okay, so this is the light parakeet party right here. And that's the dark parakeet party. Oh, Balmy Blue is one of Daisy's favorites. I don't use that color nearly enough, Daisy, and I should. I always forget about it until I don't. Pumpkin Pie. Yeah, that's a classic. Orange. I hope that they never get rid of Pumpkin Pie. I would say Pumpkin Pie, Crushed Curry, Bermuda Bay, Early Espresso, and Cherry Cobbler. I hope they never get rid of. Cherry Cobbler and Early Espresso is what made me fall in love with Stampin' Up. I never could find a good red or good brown. Oh, that's pretty with this one. Okay, so we have these. So then the next thing that I'll show you, I think I have them right here. Okay, so these are the little star charms that are going to go on these. And I just got these on the clearance rack. Oh, Crumb Cake and Cherry Cobbler, yeah. So I got these on the clearance rack. And right on the zipper part, I'm going to put a star. So I'm just going to do that by looping it through there. And then closing it like so. So then I'm going to show you, I'm going to do the stamping of these, and I'll show you which stamp set I'm using. So I just want to put all of these on here. I won't do all of these. I won't make you guys sit. This is boring to watch, but I'll do the stamping next. What did I do wrong here? Oh, I think I didn't put the star through. I was thinking how boring this was, and I got distracted in my mind. Okay, so there's that one, and I want to take photos of all of these. So the stamp set I'm going to use, let me grab it. Where did I put it? Limited edition. Okay, so you guys have seen me talk about this stamp set quite a bit. Let's move those aside. What I did with mine is I cut Stampin' Up off the bottom of these. So this is for our angel policy. So if you are selling cards, Stampin' Up wants you to put the copyright Stampin' Up on the back of the card. I don't sell my cards. Any cards that I have, I give away, or they're in card kits, or I don't stamp the back of my cards at all. Because I don't want people to not be able to use them, right? So a lot of times I don't write right on the inside of the card. I'll just put a Post-it note that says my message, and then that way the person who gets it can reuse it. And so I don't stamp the back with anything. But if you are stamping the back or you're selling them, they want you to do this. So I loved this. When I saw this stamp set, I absolutely loved it. It's one that I got for free from an event that I signed up for. I forget. It came with my catalog. So what I did is I cut off, like from this one, I cut Stampin' Up off. This one, I cut it off. This one, and this one. Because I still have this, so if I wanted to, I could still use the Stampin' Up, and I just threw it away. There was no reason to keep it. Like, I have the copyright Stampin' Up if I need it. But I love this paper hug from me. I think this is a stamp set I will keep forever because I just love that. A paper hug. I think it's amazing for, I was looking at my punches. I think I want to do a punch instead of a die because it'll be easier. Whoops. There goes all of my punches. This one could work too. This one might be too big. Like, see, that's a little big. But what if I cut it? So let's just experiment. I love this for my paper retreats because I feel like it is a little paper hug from me when you do the retreat. So let's pull out, I got some more in color paper yesterday in an order that came. And then let's pull out the Glimmer paper. I don't know if the Glimmer paper will work for, I would like it to work for all of these. Like, I think that this would work for this color. Like the pink, I think would work with this shimmery. So let's just see. I would like to use the Glimmer paper. So let's try. So for this one, I really think that that will work. And the other punch I'm going to use, which I use quite a bit, is my banner punch. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to slice this up. My desk is a mess. So I think that was 1.5. And let's see if it works. It sure does. Okay. So we just put this in here. And then look how beautiful that is. Okay, so then I want, I don't know, maybe 2.5. That should work. I might need to do this a little smaller. Okay, and then paper hug. So let's try both of these. So let me grab some white, basic white. And let's punch both of these. So this is a new punch. It's pretty cute. So what if I cut some of this off so it's not so... that kind of looks funny though, huh? If it's like that, I might need that a little bit wider. That could work. So to test this, I'm just going to put it in my cardstock. Instead of doing it like that and cutting it, I'm just going to punch it like that. So let's see. Okay. Okay, this could be cute. It could be cute. I think that I don't think I cut it exactly straight, but I can fix it. So let's grab our sweet sorbet, which is a little darker. I probably should have used sweet sorbet. I'm kind of blown away at how these pouches sort of match these in colors. I don't know that it could get better than that. I might do that with these when I color the rest of them. So let's grab a paper hug and a block and stamp this, and then I will let you guys go. I've been on here a long time. You guys are probably getting bored. Okay, a paper hug. So let's place that there. Oh, good question, Roberta. What is the one color you never use? Least favorite. Least favorite. I got to look at my colors. It's so funny because there's certain colors that I don't use. I'm so seasonal. Like I use darker colors in the winter and the fall, and I use lighter colors in the spring and the summer. I would say one of my colors that is not really my favorite is pale papaya. But here in the spring, I've used it a little bit. And then I would say soft suede is one that I rarely use. Soft suede is one I rarely use. Wild wasabi. Oh, of all time, of all colors. Okay, that certainly opens things up. Okay, so let's put this down. I would say wild wasabi for me too, Roberta. It was not one of my favorites. I feel like I want to recolor this in, I know that I have Sweet Sorbet blends. Okay, let's recolor this one because then it will match the ink and it'll match the Glimmer paper and it will match the twine that I put on here. So let's just try it. Kathy said, no, not bored, getting excited about the paper party. I am too, if I can just manage to get everything. I'm deep in the middle of prepping. Cutting and prepping. That's always the hardest part for me. Just because I do it by myself. So it's, this is the light and it looks red. That's the thing is that it looks red. How does the dark look? Oh, I might have to stick with the Flirty Flamingo because this is darker than... How is that any lighter or darker? This is the dark one. This is too red. It's not pink enough. Okay, I'm going to stick with this. That's always the stressful part for me is I feel bad having people's products, like things that people have paid for. I feel like once I get them in my studio, once they get here, I feel immense pressure to get them out to people because right when I buy something, I want my stuff. So I get stressed about it, and it's that's the hard part. Once everything gets shipped and it gets in the mail and the actual party part gets here, that is always the really exciting part for me. And this paper party specifically, I really wanted to do something fun for everybody who signed up. That's why I wanted to do these little pouches. I just wanted to do something that was fun and that I could stamp and put together. Okay, so then, yeah, I think that this is a good shape. So let's add dimensionals to this. My paper party is the weekend. Actually, I will be spending, everybody who's coming to the paper party retreat that weekend, it's the 10th and the 11th, and the 10th is my wedding anniversary. So I will be spending that day with all of you online. It will be my, I want to say 16th wedding anniversary, but don't quote me on that because I never know the right number. I always get it like a couple years more or a couple years less. My husband is like, you're the scrapbooker. You're the memory keeper. How is it that you don't know when our anniversary is or how many years we've been married? And I just don't. Okay, so this is how I'm going to do the twine. So I'm just going to take some. And then this is probably a little too much. Yeah, it is. So we'll just take one of these. And then we just cut it. Again, we fold it in half. Cut it. Fold it in half. Cut it. And then that's all we ever do too, Roberta. We're pretty boring. He has to work that day, so. But I think he's working early and we might have like a fire outside in our fire pit and hang out. The other thing that we usually do every single year, and I don't think we've done it the last 2 years, is we usually watch our wedding video with our kids. But recently it just makes me sick to watch it since I was so much thinner when we got married. 1,000 years ago and 1,000 pounds ago. And then you just pull all of this through here. like so. And then you want to pull it tight, but don't rip the paper. And then I'll trim this up a little bit. They won't all be the same length, but that's a little bit better. And then there will be a star. Let me grab one. You guys will see the finished product. Okay. I just thought these were so cute. 18 years. Oh, that's amazing, Daisy. That's awesome. I've been married so long, there's no video. That was cute, Linda. Wait, now how did I do this? Oh, there it goes. Nope. I felt like something was wrong. You stick it through here and then open this up and then put this part through the loop and then it tightens. Okay, so there will be that one. And then, so the only one that I'm like, what glimmer paper will I do? Well, there's a couple, I guess, and twine. So here's my Bermuda Bay one. So for this one, let's see. I could probably do green. That would probably work. Then for purple, that could be pretty. Yeah, this actually might be pretty with the Bermuda Bay. And then, oh yeah, this has like a purple tint to it. Okay, and then for this one, we'll do the light blue too. And then for this one, I think we can do this. No, we're gonna have to do this. I'm using this one a lot. Okay, and then for the pink, we will do the pink. And then the blue, I did the green. Let me close this before either my elbow goes in it or one of these pouches go in it. So I love the way these came out. So let me show you the color combos and we'll wrap up for the day. Oh, hey, Missy, thanks for the stars. Okay, so we have the green. June 1st for Kathy. Oh, we have the same anniversary month. So we have the green and the blue. And then we'll have the pink. And then we will have the dark, I think this is one of my favorites, this dark blue one with this. And then the yellow green with this. And then I love this. This one with the purple. And then this with the Bermuda Bay. I'll take photos of all of these, you guys. And then here's the pink. So I've got, I don't know, about 20 more of these to do, I think, to color and put together. And then I will have a post showing all the different color combos. And then tomorrow I'm going to be live again because I'm trying to hit those hours for Facebook here. So tomorrow I am going to do these cards. These are our Blessed to Craft cards for the month, the club cards. Missy's a part of our club. And your packages are all coming. I know we're running a little late this month. But I'll do these cards tomorrow on camera. So that'll be a nice treat to see the Blessed to Craft cards done. I used to do that. I used to do them live on Facebook. So I'll do that. And then my club people will have a couple exclusives. I'll try to get a couple exclusives done. With me doing so much content going live on Facebook here, it's going to be a bit of a challenge for me to get anything else filmed and edited and done. Kayla graduates this Friday from 8th grade, and then next Friday, Violet graduates from 6th grade, and there's a lot going on in the next 2 weeks, but I really am excited that Facebook reached out to me and asked me to be a part of this, and so I really would like to do my best to hit that quantity of lives. So that's good for you guys. You'll get to see 20 to 30 hours of live content from me, which will be fun. And but I don't know about getting a lot of other things, you know, that's maxing me out basically. So this will be tomorrow. So I thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you are over on YouTube, any of the links that you need will be in the description below. I will put together a blog post with the links for all the products I used. I will link these pouches and the perfect pearls. I will try to find a link for that, and I will link that as well and share it. And if you guys have crafty requests, if there's a video or a card or a project you want me to make sure you pass those along because I feel like I'm gonna run out of ideas to do soon. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I'll be back tomorrow to hang out with you guys some more. And I appreciate all of you guys cheering me on and being a part of this. If you sent me stars today or at any point yesterday, I will send you a handmade card. So make sure you're looking for that. So I will catch you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.